Hi and welcome back, everybody. Here we are just outside of the Divine Beast Cave. I had to run up to it again because when I loaded it, I started at the entrance of the village. But anyway, let's use the key and head inside. Divine Beast Cave, here we go. So here we can see that there are 8 Atla eggs, and we haven't defeated any enemies. That shows on the far right side. It said 0, but the more we fight enemies, the higher that number will get. And here we come into a cutscene with the Fairy King again, and I could hear a bat just before it. It's for real this time, Tone. From here on you will be put to the true test. First, conquer this wretched divine beast cave and find Dran's lair. That's your first goal. Since you're a beginner, I'll give you a lesson on how to fight in the dungeon. First, advance to the next floor in the dungeon, acquire a gate key for the door leading to the next floor. Each dungeon has a different gate key. For the Divine Beast Cave, Dran's quest will be the gate key. The gate key is almost always carried by a monster in the dungeon. You must defeat the monster to acquire the gate key. Since you can't tell which one has the key, you just have to defeat them all one by one. Next, I'll teach you about how to return to the ground level rather than advancing to the floor below. Well, basically, you just go to the menu and you press exit the dungeon, but if there's enemies in the dungeons, you have to use repair powder. But I'll get into that more later when the time comes. But that's basically how you do it. So you can't exit a dungeon when there is enemies still left in it. So in that case you have to use something called a repair powder or exit powder to not get penalized. Or if you are at the end of the dungeon and you have opened the door, you can still exit it. But anyway, that's basically it, what he's saying. But you'll learn as you go along. And about weapons, the more you use weapons, of course, just as in normal life, they get worn and eventually they will break. So you have to use a repair powder when you hear that they are getting low, because they have a health bar. So when the health bar of the weapon starts getting low, you have to use a repair powder. And you have a red meter that shows the life or the power of the sword, so to speak, the lifespan. So when you see it starting to get low and you'll hear like a warning sign, like it starts beeping, like beep 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 beep, and the faster it beeps, the more closer it is to breaking. So you have to constantly keep an eye on it so you don't break it, because the new weapons that you find will break and disappear if they do. The knife or dagger that you have now, however, will not break. It will always be there, but if you upgrade it and it breaks, then I guess to its original form it will appear. Sorry about that, I had a phone call, had to pause for a second. But that's basically it. the one dagger you have will not break. And now he explains about the Atlas stones, where basically the people and the buildings and furniture and all of that stuff is contained inside of the Atlas stones that you can find on the levels, and all you have to do is interact with them to collect them. And the eggs and the content of the chests and everything is randomly generated each time. So you can't really know a layout of one cave, and you can't show where everything is because it is automatically generated each time. So it never looks the same, and same goes for the content inside of it, but the monsters remain the same, at least like the basic monsters on the first levels and stuff like that. It is more easier monsters than later on, but you're kind of thrown in without a warning. So here we're fighting a dasher. And as you see, the weapon, the bar on the upper left, kind of goes down from 48 to 44, and above that is my health. And then the water droplets is how thirsty you get moving around. So you have water and bread and poison antidote that you can use. So here we got an ice elemental that you can basically put on your dagger if you want to, and it will give it ice elemental damage. And I thought I was getting a fire elemental as well, but it turned out I had it was an item that you use from your item menu. And basically when you put them in your quick slot, you can use the fire gem or whatever, fire crystal, as a magic. It's a one-time usage only. But basically it can be used kind of like a magic. So you mark your enemies with the circle button, and then you stare on your menu. You move left and right on your cross stick, the analog cross, to left and right, so you move between the water, the bread, and whatever you have put up there, and you can switch and put the fire crystal up there. So let's see what we get now. We got a fence. Well, that's always good. I was hoping for something else, but oh well. Excuse me. A fence is always good, and it's kind of a, I guess, decoration for the buildings and stuff like that. Or some buildings are required, and you have to talk to the villages when you find them in order to find out what belongs to their property and house. So, and you can block also by using R1, which I completely forgot, or if it's L1. And here I'm running low on health, and I ate some bread. So that's a pretty effective way of using the menu. And here I got a map, and that means, as you see, you can see the entire map, kinda see through, and not really clear as the upper part, but that's how this dungeon floor looks like. And I found a lamp, and let's see, Oh, I got some roads that you can put also in the village, of course. Oh, some river, always good to have water. And this trolley leads to a back area, and you need a certain items to access it. Here we got some more ice. Good, good, good. And these are tricky to deal with. You can kind of time it if you're lucky. Wait until he like dives and try to kind of sidestep and hit him. Or you can do a charged attack on him. But that takes more from your weapon's VHP, weapon health points. So it drains the weapon faster, even though you do a pretty good attack with it that's more strong. But it drains the health of your weapon faster. So keep that in mind. But as long as you haven't put out your shop, if you find that one, you keep getting free items from the mayor of the city or the village chief. So you see, I walked up to that trolley, and you need I think it was some kind of a fuel, like a gasoline or something like that, a gas can, in order to access the back area. And those areas are good for, they have stronger enemies, but you can get some really good items and weapons when you're in there. Oh, Gaffer's Buggy, that is the shop, but you need the Gaffer in order to use it. But I wouldn't recommend putting it out until you find all the pieces and stuff. And there's another guy that you need as well that uses the ladder on the Gaffer's Buggy to put up his sign. And I can't remember his name, but we will not put that out in the village. And this always happens when I am recording. Some people message and stuff like that, but oh well. And here, as you can see on the map, enemies when I get close show up as red dots. And then, oh, terrible cough. And then chests show up as yellow dots. And if there is an Atla egg, they show as green dots on the map. Taking care of these skeletons. As you see, maybe it didn't spell correctly, but it's badly translated from, I think, Japanese. Something like that. What's in this then? Oh, magical crystal. That's good. And now with that you can see on the minimap, you can see all the red dots and the green and other stuff. So you see everything available in the map where it's at. So you can see the enemies, and you can see the treasure chests and the Atlas stones. And other special things like that blue circle on the far right. And now my abs is full and I can upgrade my dagger if I so choose. And I might as well, so I don't have to hit as much, because I haven't really found another weapon yet which can appear in the boxes, treasure chests, if you're lucky. So now my dagger is +1, and I needed to be at least +5 to tackle the final boss of this dungeon, Dran. But let's continue to pick up stuff. So we found some trees. Well, trees are always good. Skeleton soldier. I think it said skeleton. Maybe it's only said skeleton. I'm not sure. I have to check on the next one. I thought it said skeleton, but maybe it said skeleton. Oh, we found Macho's house. That's good. One of the brothers' house. That's good because we need to talk to them and find out what they need for their house if we find the character. And we found him. We found Macho. And his house. And he has a brother too, but I can't remember his name. Something on K or something like that. So there I put the fire crystal and I mark and I shoot. And I get a special item called Beast Buster because I use a magic thing on him. So the Beast Buster makes your weapon stronger against that kind of enemies that is classed as beasts. And here's a gamble. Either your health decreases or your weapon HP decreases, or you I was lucky, so I got pumped with I got pumped up with energy. But I also could have lost my life and be on the brink of death, or my weapon could have broken or lost its health, or I could have gotten a few more health or upgrade points for the weapon. And here I'm trying to run diagonal, however it's pronounced, because I've heard that he runs faster, but I'm not too sure. Kinda making me dizzy. He kinda sprints faster in certain, but maybe it's just illusion. Maybe it just seems that way. But that is what I've heard. Oh, I thought there was I needed like a bone key. Okay. Well, I guess I can cut to the door. So I'll be right back. There we are. Now we're back. And here is the door to the next area. So you use Dran's key and you run down, and now we can choose to either continue or leave the dungeon temporarily. And I chose to exit temporarily, and we get a cutscene and we meet the Fairy King again. And he keeps walking for some reason. Huh? And there is the Fairy King again. Ah, seems like you finally came back with some Atla. Very well then, I shall teach you as I promised. The piece sealed inside Atla are released by touching the Atla with your left hand, where the power of Atla Milla resides. Building and the peoples were sucked into the Atla Milla will be restored to their original form. Once you bring them back to the ground level, you can arrange them as you wish. So basically he's telling you exactly what I told you a little bit earlier, that you get the people and the buildings from those Atla eggs and you can place them as you see fit in the building area that we're standing on right now. Now, let's move on. This may be a bit technical. So yeah, he's talking about this stuff. You see, you press the select button and you can place the buildings that you find and turn them around, move them around and place them how you want. And then when you press select button again, you can move down on ground level. And you can only put the stuff in the buildings that you have found when you're in the assembly mode or configure assembly mode. So you're just having fun by putting them as you want. But there are rewards and stuff for getting stuff correctly and higher. And finally he starts moving. It was annoying when he kept walking. Oh yes, use this. And we get a manual from the Fairy King that we can check again if we get uncertain of things. It's a guide for using Atlamilla and other things. I wrote it for beginners. Manual can be selected from the main menu. Read it really carefully. Okay. I'll leave the world's reconstruction to you. I'll be watching. So long. Well, I'm glad he finds it amusing, and Tony's standing there clueless. He's like, what is going on? So here we are, and this is how you get into the building or assembly mode. You press the select on the pad, or on your PlayStation 2, it's the select button. But you can move around faster, and now we're going back in here and we get some more free stuff from the mayor, because we run out. And you can press the R2, I think it is, and you can go into first person view to check things more closely if you want to see how it's decorated inside. The only downside is that it's moving like you're piloting a ship, so when you move up you look down, and when you look down it looks up. But left and right is left and right, so that's the only confusing thing that they could have done something about. But this is the only time you can do this. You can have this mode in caves as well, but I don't think you can fight when you're looking like this. But you can kind of zoom in or see enemies closer if you're uncertain of areas, if there are enemies close. But anyway, we can check in here if there's something again. And if you're uncertain, you can... Ooh, look at that! He got cheese and bread and some sausage and stuff hanging, so he's well stocked. And there's kind of a bowl there. So either he has some sort of a cat, or maybe it's for the barrels of whatever it is inside of the barrels. If it leaks, he can put it outside underneath, so it drips down into it. This looks like it's no easy task. I'll put the items you'll be needing in your bag. So that's basically what it says. Every time you use something, like repair powder, the bread or the water, and you have run out, he will give those items to you again. Repair powder, bread and water. So now that I've used the repair powder and I use the water, I'll get more water and more bread. More repair powder and more water. And this is the antidote if you get poisoned. Usually you get poisoned by the bats for some reason. And as you see, I'm full in health, so I can't really use it. So I'll put it like that for now. And there you have the beast buster, as I said. And you place it in your sword and it gives your weapon more power against beast enemies. And you can't put it in like I just tried. You have to put it in like this. You have to open up the weapon menu. Doesn't matter where you put it. But as you can see there, when I'm in the right menu, it raises from 4 to 7. So that's pretty good. So now we have a stronger version against the beast, plus we have a little more magic that we can pick and choose from. Now he says the same thing, and that's when you know you receive items. So here we got some more repair powder and more water. So we can put that, so we have it. And yeah. And since there's nothing left inside, then we can check outside if some more if any of the red treasure chest has appeared, but it doesn't look like it has. So let's run down and take an overview real quick. And here we see Macho's house, and we got the gaffer's buggy. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and we got some trees, as I said. 5 out of 5 trees. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. And you can go into the slots here and you can get a description of the characters open. Daily training makes for a muscular body, and the other one says a little powerhouse. And if you go to him, you see Macho, like his name, never skips training. So that shows you can put him in that slot. And if you speak to him, you find out what else he wants for his house, and he wants to be close to the divine beast cave, so either right there, but I'm gonna put it in another place. So I'm gonna put it right there. You can't put it any closer to the wall. So I think that will do for now. Pretty close to the cave. And as you can see, some dots appeared, and you can see now we got a little bit of the treasure chest that you can open up, and you get bread. And here we have tasty water. And you can wait by opening them, because I don't think they will disappear. And then we can talk to Macho and see what else he requires for his house, if anything. Hello. If you see my big bro, tell him you didn't see me, okay? I'm counting on you. How should I rebuild Norune? Fighting is what a man should live for. It's a basic fact of life, right? What will happen when it's done? Tell me how to rebuild your house. Look, don't forget to expand my room. And a barbell. Put that outside. And what will happen when it's done? That you should ask my big bro. So that gives you some more clues on what they want for the house. So another slot open up for the barbell. And here you can see how it looks inside. You got a big massive weight, and then on the wall it looks like a wrestler. Can't really say what it says on there, but maybe different language. And pretty nice little place. A little worn on the walls and stuff like that, but a sink, and you got Camacho's room there. And you can't access it until you ask Camacho for the big brother of Macho on how to what he wants for the house. Then he basically says that don't forget to expand for my room. And I don't see any more coffins or treasure chests, boxes. So I think that will do it for this episode. So I think I'll finish up inside, but I'm gonna take a look first up close. Nothing on this side. No. So let's head in. And we'll finish up there for today. Did something more appear? He says the same thing. Of course I haven't used anything, but nothing more that has appeared inside here. Nope. If you're unsure, you can press the X button when you're running like this, and if there is a red chest in there, it will automatically open. But I'll think that will do it for this episode, since we're running a little bit short of time. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you join me in the next one. Take care, and I do hope you join me on this next adventure in the next episode.